Hello everybody, I'm Sarah and I'm a recorder player. As you have no doubt noticed, I'm not at home. I'm actually in England visiting my family for 2 weeks, and I've had 2 weeks of complete holiday and it has been amazing. I wasn't sure if I would feel like making a video this week. Unsurprisingly, doing absolutely nothing for a fortnight has made me quite eager to start doing things again. So here I am. In any case, welcome back to Team Recorder. If you're not subscribed already, take a second to click that red subscribe button down here below and join the team. Today I want to talk about something that is just as important for a musician as playing your scales and finding the right instrument for you, blah blah blah, and that is looking after yourself. Self-care for musicians. This is so important. Because music is something that we love, it's easy to forget that you still need to take care of yourself and you still need to rest and have breaks and to set boundaries. And also, January is the time when all these magazines come out with new January, new you. I mean, I don't want to give you advice like eat well, sleep well, exercise, don't smoke, because I think you know that already. So I want to give you some bits of advice that I wish I had known when I was first starting to study music. Let's put it like that. I've written them all down, so we can't go wrong. Very important to warm up before you practice. This can mean just 10 minutes of doing some physical stretches and then some playing in some long notes, some finger exercises, just to let you adjust to the fact that you're practicing, to get in the zone, and most importantly to prepare your body for all this physical activity you're about to do. If you practice a lot and you don't do a physical warm-up, you are in real danger of giving yourself an injury, especially if you're playing any instrument bigger than an alto. And for me, warming up really helps me concentrate. If I've spent 10 minutes warming up, my practice afterwards is so much more focused than if I've just walked in and gone like, whoa. Funnily enough, I may have done a series of videos on how to warm up. So if you want to make a musical New Year's resolution, I would say developing your own 10 to 12 minute warm up that you use at the start of every practice, that could be a really good one. Now, look into my eyes. Being a musician is not just about how much you practice. Especially when you're studying music, there is such a cult around practice. How many hours a day did you do? You can do more, practice, practice, practice. I have practiced so much. There have been times where I have practiced until I was literally physically sick. That's not good. And yes, if you really want to achieve a certain standard, you have to put the hours in. But that's not the only thing. And you can give yourself a break. I also count listening to music, whether that's listening to CDs or going to concerts, as a really important part of my musical training. Reading about music, thinking about music. It doesn't only have to be in your practice room doing this. In between my bachelor and master studies in Amsterdam, I've talked about this before, but I had a pretty bad burnout and I took a year off. And in that year, I decided to not start practicing again until I was ready. In the end, I didn't practice for 8 months. 8 months. I was terrified that if I stopped practicing for a week, I would forget how to play the recorder, my fingers would crumble into dust. And do you know what? It didn't really affect anything. Sometimes giving yourself a break is 10 times more beneficial to your playing than forcing it in. Now, I don't want you to use this as an excuse to never practice again, but just know that taking a break is a good and necessary thing. My next self-care tip for musicians is this: eat enough. At the time that I was a music student, I also struggled a lot with all of the media saying that you need to lose weight, you need to be skinny to be happy. I knew in my head that that wasn't true, but it was hard not to be affected by it. And I also didn't have much money, so as a result, for many meals I would eat cucumber rice. Literally just cucumber and rice. I thought I was being healthy. This contains 0 energy, and unsurprisingly I was just tired all the time. And do you know this? Practicing is an intense mental activity, and it's also a physical activity. And for this, just like a sports person, you need fuel. Practicing uses up so much energy. And you need fuel for that. I'm not going to tell you what to eat. You can choose to follow whatever food lifestyle you want to. But if you're going to be practicing music, you need to eat enough. So every so often when I was having a break, I would have a snack, wash it down with water so it doesn't all go into my recorder. But make sure I was keeping on top of my energy so I can practice properly. Stop glorifying busy. You know what I mean? You're only successful if you're busy. Your life is only on track if you're so busy you want to puke all the time. It's astonishing how much I meet friends or colleagues and they say to me, "How are you? Busy?" Like as one sentence. If I say, "Oh, no, actually I'm not busy," then that's tantamount to saying, "Haha, my career has failed." I have learnt that you can be doing a lot of things without being busy. It's just a mindset. That sounds really vague and I hate it when people do that. But at one point I decided to stop being busy. I decided to just carry on with my life and not really think about it. And it worked. And this kind of all ties in with my next tip, which is plan in enough rest. As a musician, it's so easy to hop from project to project, saying yes to everything and burning out because you've not given yourself enough time to rest. The good news is I have a very concrete tip for this. I like to split up my day into segments of morning, afternoon and evening. As a musician, it's really easy to plan work into all three of those slots, to plan work into every available moment. And before you know it, you're working morning to evening, 7 days a week. That is not healthy and it's actually not possible to sustain that. You will burn out. If we think of it like that, a week has 21 segments. A normal office job is working 10 of those segments, morning and afternoon, 5 days a week. As a musician, you are often filling 19 to 21 of those segments. And as a side note, I understand that many people will be working multiple jobs in order to pay the bills and supporting their families. Maybe you're combining music with studying with a job. And for that, I have all the respect in the world and you are doing great. So maybe this next tip isn't so applicable for you. It's more for people who are able to choose their own schedule, freelancers basically. My tip is this. Try and only plan work into 2 of the day segments. So if you're teaching in the afternoon and you have a concert in the evening, keep your morning free. If you have some meetings in the morning and you are rehearsing in the afternoon, keep your evening free, and so on. Of course, it's not possible all the time, and sometimes something comes up that you really want to do or that you really have to do. That's fine, but so long as you're getting enough rest, that will still be possible. Another tip for planning in your rest is have a daily activity that you do to just rest. Go for a short walk, have a bath, read something. When I was studying, my girlfriend at the time had this rule that we would watch 1 episode of The X-Files every day. The X-Files was and is my favourite TV show. Oh, I'm even wearing my X-Files watch today. At one point I was like, why are you so adamant that we watch this every single day? Can't you see how busy I am? And she said to me, yeah, but if we do this every day, then I know that you get 45 minutes of rest per day. I was like, ah, that's really smart. My next self-care tip for musicians is set your communication boundaries. We have so many forms of communication nowadays. My work communication goes through my email, WhatsApp, Facebook, phone calls, Trello, Slack, constantly being bombarded with work stuff. It's really easy to feel like you have to respond instantly, like you're always available. My tip is to make really clear boundaries for yourself and communicate this to your colleagues. For example, I have told my fellow ensemble members that I am unavailable for work stuff after 10 p.m. So at 9:30, it's fine to text me, oh, can you look at the rehearsal schedule? Can we do this? After 10 o'clock, no! What I've actually done is I've moved all of my work communication apps into one folder on my iPhone and moved it like 3 screens across. So it can't just pop up and be blinking at me. I have to actively go and look at it. That really helps because then I go and do that work when I choose to go and do that work. And my last self-care tip for musicians is this. Make sure you have a hobby outside of your music. Now, if you have a job and music is your hobby, congratulations, you have already achieved this tip. One tricky thing with being a professional musician is that many of us have grown up with music as our hobby and suddenly it becomes your job, with everything that comes along with it, with doing the administration and the finances and the marketing. Yes, you're doing what you love, but it is a job. So it's really good to get perspective. Have a different hobby. If I look amongst my professional musician friends, their hobbies include zouk dancing and high cuisine cooking and race biking. My personal hobby is go and sing karaoke with my friends. So because of this, I actually started singing lessons. And yeah, I know that's music, but I sing completely different music than I play and I just love it. My teacher's great and I just leave every single lesson like, and you don't need to spend a lot of money on it. You can learn things from YouTube. So for now, those were my tips. Please share your tips for self-care below. Aside from that, thank you for watching. I'm sorry there was no recorder playing in this, but as I say, sometimes it's good to have a break. As always, you can subscribe to my channel by clicking my face in the corner here, and I'm gonna leave a link to my video on how to warm up. So check that video out. You don't have to do all of it. You can pick and choose different exercises from it that work for you. Thanks for watching and have a great day.